Good morning and thanks for choosing Fox 10 News on this Sunday morning, July 25th. Happy Sunday. I am Gianni Navarro. Let's check in first with meteorologist Matt Barentine. Good morning, Matt. Yesterday we had some great conditions, just a little hot, but will those conditions carry on into our Sunday?
Yeah, for sure. It is going to be another hot and toasty day, so as you make your plans, keep that in mind. Find ways to cool yourself off. Where we're at right now is pretty mild and muggy. You got 76 in Mobile, 75 in Gulf Shores, 80 Pensacola, 81 right now in Destin. Out the lighthouse there in the middle of the bay, it's 82, while downtown is 80. Fairhope, you're sitting at 76, same deal in Gulf Shores. So very warm and muggy morning to start off with. Things are pretty quiet here on the radar. There's been a few showers over here in Mississippi, but for the most part, across our area, things are pretty quiet. Not seeing any rain here to start the day, but eventually that'll change. Here we go to noontime on the Futurecast. It's quiet. A few what we call fair weather cumulus clouds will be popping up. Then we can see a couple of pop-up showers around the area. Now, nothing widespread. Not everybody gets a shower today. This is typical summertime stuff for us, just to get a few showers and storms here or there. Some days you'll get one of these and some days you won't. You'll see how it goes here for your Sunday. It's always just sort of the luck of the draw here in the summertime. Here's your planner as we go through the day. You can see the rain chances right around 30% in the afternoon. So once again, nothing widespread. These aren't big rain chances, but you could run into a shower or storm. Temperatures getting quite hot. Into the 90s here today. Once again, some areas the mid 90s for your Sunday. So this morning we're starting out humid. Sunny though, it's pretty out there. Afternoon forecast, heat index values will easily get up to around 105, and some areas will get a little bit higher than that. Anytime you get above 105, that gets you kind of into the concern range. You need to be careful out there in the heat of the day. In the long range, not much in the way of changes. We'll talk about that. We'll check out the tropics coming up in a few minutes.
Matt, thank you. New at 7 this morning, authorities in Saraland tell us that Highway 45 is back open in both directions. This comes after police responded to a crash just south of Arden Road. We're told that 2 vehicles were involved and the victims were transported to the hospital after receiving multiple injuries. Mobile police say a domestic dispute turned deadly. Investigators identifying the victim as 46-year-old James Ross. Police say the incident occurred in the 2700 block of Carter Avenue at around 11 Friday night. They did have someone in custody, but say the case will go to a grand jury. The investigation is ongoing. They're asking anyone with information on the case to please give them a call. So far, there have been more than 24 killings in Mobile this year. That's according to Mobile police. They're still looking for clues in the death of 19-year-old Jalen Casino. Casino was killed at the speed stop on Government Street last week around 9 p.m. They're looking for clues in another homicide happening Thursday on Seabreeze Court. Investigators say the victim of that deadly shooting is 18-year-old Calvin Horn Jr. and 17-year-old Jalon Gallery, shot and killed on Tuesday near Michigan Avenue and Sumner Drive. If you know anything about any of these shootings, please contact Mobile Police. Now to Baldwin County, where investigators say a murder suspect is behind bars. According to the Major Crimes Unit, this Spanish Fort man, Tyler McCrindle, turned himself in after a warrant was issued for his arrest. Officers say he is being held at the Baldwin County Jail and will have his bond hearing next week. Investigators allege McCrindle shot and killed 22-year-old Robert Mims Daniels around 9 o'clock Tuesday night near West Ellis Street in Bay Minette. Major Crimes is still encouraging anyone with information about this case to contact them.
A lot of our very conservative friends have finally had an altar call. They've seen the Lord. Thank God the governor of of Alabama had one of the lowest vaccination rates in the country, is now, and I'm genuinely complimenting her.
President Joe Biden praising Governor Kay Ivey on her stance on the COVID-19 vaccine. Right now, Alabama reporting the lowest vaccine rate in the United States. Governor Ivey showing her frustration and lashing out on the unvaccinated Alabamians, blaming them for the low vaccine rate and high hospitalizations. Thursday's comments on the COVID vaccine by Governor Kay Ivey are still setting off a big debate about who or what's to blame for the sudden increase in cases. Those comments remain a hot topic in downtown Mobile Saturday evening. We spoke to several people taking in the sights and sounds of this summer concert. They took those comments very personally, but most of them agreed with her message. However, one person told us that the governor's comments were inappropriate and it's a personal decision.
The governor, you have a lot of influence, and to tell people that because they choose to make a personal medical choice of not being vaccinated, it's like villainizing those people.
Never thought I would agree with Kay Ivey, but I agree. I definitely feel like, and I know it's a personal choice, but so that we can continue to enjoy things like this, I feel like people should really give the vaccination a try.
There are still no plans of renewing any mask mandates here in the state of Alabama, but the governor does encourage everyone to get vaccinated. Meanwhile, USA Health continues their community outreach program to get more people vaccinated. This weekend, they were helping a local church celebrate their anniversary and administer the shot, Reconciling Lives to the Kingdom Church Ministries, marking 4 years. The congregation making up for lost time after COVID canceled last year's celebration. This year, they've teamed up with USA Health to offer the vaccine. USA Health says they'll continue bringing the vaccine to the community to give people that extra layer of protection, as the number of cases is once again on the rise.
The reason they're going up is because everybody didn't drive up and get the shot. That's the reason they went down, because the shot was available. The vaccine was available. Yeah. And that's simple math. Get vaccinated. It's important. It's very important. Not only for you, but for those you love.
USA Health also held a vaccine event in West Mobile on Saturday. Meanwhile, the church is set to break ground on their new church this afternoon. Tokyo reports more than 1,700 new COVID cases today, the second official day of the Olympics. The figure announced by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government is about 700 more than last Sunday. Out of the new cases, there have been 137 linked to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. A Florida court reversing its decision which allowed the government to implement COVID-19 protocols for the cruise industry. The CDC seeking to require cruise lines to meet certain conditions before they can set sail, including ventilation, social distancing, and testing. Florida initially won when the state sued to block the CDC protocols, saying they were overly burdensome. But then a federal appeals court sided with the CDC, granting a temporary stay. Now an appeals court has ruled the CDC failed to prove its jurisdiction in the matter, and the cruise industry will now be able to resume operations in Florida without adhering to the CDC's COVID-19 protocols. Health officials once again urging Americans to get vaccinated as the Delta variant of COVID-19 has led to a new spike in infections, cases nearly tripling nationwide in just 2 weeks. Health data shows the surge is almost entirely among the unvaccinated. Fox News correspondent Charles Watson reports.
We have a pandemic among the non-vaccinated. Those who are not vaccinated. If you are vaccinated, you are safe.
Cases of the COVID-19 Delta variant are on the rise across the United States. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say the 7-day average of new infections is up 53% from the week before. It now accounts for an estimated 83% of all COVID-19 cases nationwide.
Please take the Delta variant seriously. This virus has no incentive to let up, and it remains in search of the next vulnerable person to infect.
Unvaccinated Americans are reportedly driving up COVID-19 hospitalizations. For the first time since late last year, the 7-day average of vaccine doses going into arms is below 300,000 a day. Health experts are continuing to urge Americans to take the shot.
Even if a vaccine does not completely protect against infection, it usually, if it's successful, protects against serious disease.
As the Delta variant continues to drive up coronavirus cases across the U.S., concerns are growing over whether to revive mask mandates because of COVID-19 resurgence. The Biden administration says it's the CDC which dictates policies on masks. Some Republicans say they worry about who gets the final say.
Nobody elected the CDC. No one elected Tony Fauci to make these decisions. Advisors advise. Elected officials decide.
The White House says it's following the science on whether or not to tell Americans, even vaccinated ones, to mask up again. In Atlanta, Charles Watson, Fox News.
The Justice Department will not open a civil investigation into the COVID-19 response in state nursing homes in New York, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. The announcement was made in a letter Friday. Previously, the department was looking into whether policies issued during the pandemic requiring COVID-19 patients to be admitted into the facilities may have contributed to deaths. Now, the DOJ says it has decided not to open a Civil Rights of Institutionalized Persons Act investigation in those 3 states. The Justice Department confirmed it opened an investigation in October 2020 into 2 facilities in New Jersey. The announcement prompted swift outrage from Representative Steve Scalise. Other Republicans who have accused New York Governor Andrew Cuomo of covering up COVID-19 related deaths in nursing homes in his state. Cuomo has denied any wrongdoing.